CLG are to win, birth themselves into the semifinals for a game. And they absolutely want that. Coming out very outspoken as being a team that can make finals. If you think, who you think has the edge in this match, tweet at LOL Esports, hashtag FWWin or hashtag CLGWin. We'll tally those up throughout the game. You always see it at the bottom. You can participate in the streams as well. It's kind of like being a pro player on Twitter.
If it gets through. One thing I do need to touch on, one more thing I need to touch on about these team compositions is the way Black Shield will be interacting with
early wards. Early map control coming out from Flash Wolves would be devastating. There's Pobelter already going aggressive.
Keep an eye on that lane. Pobelter at 10, up CS. Maybe.
Zion should be telling them, yes, there's a Malphite level 6. He's going back to get his mana right now. CLG, though, they push up that minion wave, and then they peel off to take the objective here in Dragon.
Nicely done. Stake low on mana. He's not going to be able to come in too quick. Dragon burned down as fast as they can. So CLG again kind of slowing down the fact of kills in the game, but aiming for those objectives for traps.
It's very similar to what happened in the first game between these teams, where Stake actually got 2 or 3 kills on Zion because Zion was playing so aggressive and got heavily. COD tries to get more and more bold in these side lanes.
Ooh, Pobelter tries to sidestep, but he gets caught with the chain.
Belter up, barriers down. His flash could be used right now. The Ignite should be saved with that safeguard. That's going to be the Mimic of Maple. No kill coming from that, and Xmithie perfectly on the wing. The rocket just over the right shoulder of Pobelter.
Not even close.
So the poke from Maple is not as threatening anymore. Bottom lane, though, Afro trying to save this turret, and he's 1 versus 3.
He's in a tough spot right now. It's going to be another teleport coming in. That should be stopped on the Rek'Sai tunnel. Zion Spartan also joins the party. It looks like he actually wants a bit of a fight.
Speed yet on the opponent's side. The Dragons giving the gold to put Flash Wolves in this position is much greater.
Doublelift jumps out. Binding used. No, Zap actually hits. There's the rocket as well. Doublelift. There's like 15 feet of wall there if you made that flash. Wow.
That is a flash that will never get over that wall.
Not get much out of this. They're really just losing a bit of HP each time they try to engage. Going hard here on the mid turret. Respect given by Maple and the rest of Flash Wolves.
Doublelift, is it there?
Maybe not. They go in after the turret goes down, fight with the damage, and they are going to get taken out. Karsa goes down immediately. Maple living with a sliver of health. That's an L going down now. After they lose one, they keep wanting to go in, and it's ill-advised.
Who needs Doublelift here?
They couldn't even get from lane to lane. They get a little bit of freedom here. We'll see this fight again.
The Black Shield gone before Karsa even gets into this fight. And then Maple distorting into the Pulverize. One part bad, other part really unlucky. And then Zion Spartan gets both ticks of the Time Winder there as Pobelter comes in for the finish.
Build, but more spell penetration on top of that. Whoa, Stake deep in enemy territory.
Does not look like it's going to end well for him. The whole team is coming up the river. He's got enough HP to last, but gain a little bit back here and there, but they got to make sure they're not the ones chasing the fights that aren't going to happen in their favor.
And there's that fog.
Probably the turret easily for Flash Wolves.
Eyes on Zion.
Teleport? Here it comes.
Still going to go in. They try to get Karsa immediately. Still pretty tanky. He's going to take a while to go down, and that's enough time for Flash Wolves to assess and set up a kill of their own.
Time to get his ultimate off.
Still trying. Relentless here from Flash Wolves. There's another one. Chain into binding. We're seeing the composition.
Very wary of Aphromu's initiation. He's not directly going on to Maple, but when Maple goes into poke, Aphromu's very willing to
resources, gaining that vision control of Baron, which I feel like it's a real, it's a very low percentage chance to get that Baron. And
fourth. It's like he will hold off on this one. The team's still trying to flank on this. Xmithie's going to take a bit of damage. Zion very much holding. Maybe they can get, oh my word.
Nice
Doublelift gets hit. Very nice channel on that. Getting out of the unstoppable force. That's going to be Aphromu down. Like he said, no ultimate here. Xmithie comes in a bad spot, Zion Spartan rather. But this could be Flash Wolves' loss. If they can get a few more hits in on the side of CLG, they're going to start losing members. Stake back to the front line. Karsa gets there as well. Black Shield on him again, so he can't be stopped. Doublelift in the eyes now of Flash Wolves. Zion Spartan doing what he can to deter and peel off his AD carry. Zion onto Swordart. Swordart could go down with one more hit, but he just can't swing the sword. Doublelift to the other side. Dubbing in. He gets the reset. He says, "King me," but can't get the next jump. Zion Spartan now in a battle. A 3v1 around him. A 2v1, I should say. And it does not look like it's going to end well. The parallel conversion stun is going to happen, but Karsa is free to roam.
around the back end to finish that off, and Flash Wolves is able to prevail.
CLG actually started this off pretty well with Double F buffering his rocket jump right there. But again,
those
as
shields.
you said, Aframu getting chunked out earlier, he had no teleport. And those Flame Chompers on top of the ward, very quick thinking there by NL. Then we get the spread out fight inside the jungle here. And the CLG, it looked like Pobelter got a little bit baited in by the LeBlanc clone. Nice finding there from Sword Art. And Double Lift actually got too close to Pobelter. So both CLG carries standing next to each other hurt them a lot.
Yeah. Flash Wolves, I feel like, did a nice job of target priority, knowing that they were free to focus Aframu. Would have been better for CLG if they could have had Lee Sin going in at the start of that fight. And again, Afro takes a lot of damage. He wants to hold on to his ult.
Oh.
Gonna have to burn it.
One after the other.
So CLG wants to fight this. Not only do they have to blind face check against a Malphite, they'd have to get the time for Smithy and fight a 4v5.
It's at 4,000, and they're getting chunked out. This is going
That's gotta be
great for
Baron.
Flash Wolves.
Zion Spartan gets himself away with the phase dive.
They're zoned
Should
out.
be safe, but yeah, they can't do anything. CLG watches the Baron go down.
Wolves had better execution in the mid game due to CLG mistakes, but this time CLG does not have the Lulu for a hyper carry, and they're gonna have to find a new way to try to come back.
After Mukal once again, Maple's gonna take him down, take him right down all the way. Hits another sigil, and it looks like they go in. A kick to NL, he's to the back line. Great damage coming in from McSmithy, but he goes down for his attempt. And can CLG clean this one up? Double Lift jumps forward, the red buff is on, so they could
binding!
What a binding coming in from Sword Out. They're able to finish off Double Lift, the double kill for Stake. Counter Logic Gaming, not respecting the space that Flash Wolves can play with. And we'll see it once again here.
Yeah, let's take a look at... So Aframu gets picked again at first, and he gets 100%ed because he... Oh, actually...
That was such a forethought.
Used his ultimate at the very end.
Very early black shield for him as well.
Smithy did get a really good kick onto NL, but it was just a little bit too late here. Double Lift jumps forward to try and get a reset, but doesn't fully commit, can't get the range.
And then he's positioned.
They can now use Sword Arts for somebody else if necessary. This is Zion Spartan. We'll see how fast he can zero out NL here if he goes for the attack. Nice dodge on the Time Winder to get the damage on the backside as well, but he's forced to get out with his ultimate. Pobelter looking to get himself something fancy, but goes down actually. NL off on the side. Him and Karsa already doing work in the top lane.
Part number 3.
And Maple is just so far ahead of the curve right now with no true tanks on CLG. The LeBlanc poke is just out of this world right now. Unless CLG gets an incredibly clean initiation, they're always starting a fight basically down a man.
That's Grievous Wounds.
No ignite.
Grievous Wounds.
40
items down for Counter Logic Gaming in these fights. They're able to hold the inhibitor without a turret in front of it. Flash Wolves just looking for it. Pobelter gets himself in a great spot. Kickback Stake is going to go down possibly. That's a lot of focus for the tank, and the rest of the team's taking the inhibitor. There's the Chaos Storm from Pobelter. CLG's trying to chase here, but they're taking damage as they chase. A great binding from Sword Art. That's the headbutt initiation for Pulverize. That CLG is what they wanted. A Chaos Storm built up. But Flash Wolves has been separating and dispersing very
CLG
nicely.
spending a lot of money on vision here around Baron, and now they're sitting in the brush.
So they get Stake.
Flame
That's his
Chopper.
Banshee's
Barely
Veil
touches
down.
him.
Correct.
Banshee's Veil into Black Shield. Why would you even try? Pobelter's going to be the one hit. Stake has all day to play around here. He says, come on, guys, let's go. Blindings from Sword Art go to the backside. They miss, but they still have Aframu to kill. Taking him down. Pobelter's next. Double Lift's going to get hit with some rockets. The binding for Smithy is forced to be flashed forward with the Buster Shot backwards. Double Lift lives for another second, but the distortion now to come in from Maple with a sigil will end him. There's the auto attack. That's 4 down. Smithy runs for the homestead, and he's not going to be able to do much for the inhibitors.
That's the thing. Full take. Malphite is happy to face check a brush, and Zion goes right onto the Flame Choppers again. Smithy gets caught.
Yeah, still 20 seconds plus on the death timer, so this should be Flash Wolves taking the game, I think. Maybe just 2 inhibitors.
Looks like it's this right now. Not very many minions coming in, but and they have Baron in the bottom lane to work with now, so it's going to be nice for them. Going in, he's going to try to go for Sword Art. Chrono Break Brat back. The fight.
That would put, we'll go over this fight one more time.
There's the face check.
I mean, they do stun him, but Zion steps straight onto a Flame Chomper, can't ultimate out, and the fight is basically, the game might even be over at that point. Pobelter doesn't have flash from the last time, so Stake can easily just click on him to get the ultimate. The rest of Flash Wolves can then arrive at the fight. Really, the initial pick onto Stake isn't the worst idea as long as Zion doesn't step on the Flame Chopper, because then CLG would have been able to disengage. They attempted again. These guys are just too tanky.
Karsa, pretty damn big right here. Takes a full hit from 3 members of Counter Logic Gaming, and they're right back in. Another unstoppable force. 4-member pop-up. Double lift on the outside. They're going to actually have to look away from him. Stake's going to take down a 1v1. Double kill coming in for NL, looking for a triple kill. That's a triple. That's going to be the quadra. He gets a pentakill. NL, pentakill.
Quadra kill earlier on Jinx. He is having a great day. And remember, this guy was on the bench for game 1 here at Worlds. He is
Down in the victory fight, but it doesn't matter. 37 minutes and Counter Logic Gaming will fall to the Flash Wolves.
Flash Wolves come back so strong after losing to Pain last week, having an incredibly close game against the Brazilians already today, and then carrying that through to beat a fledgling, I think that's the wrong word, a struggling CLG is just massive for them. And now the question will be, can they carry on their performance against Coup?
So much strength, that is true. They're now staying on stage. There'll be a break between games, but now they face off against Coup, who just watched them after Coup had 2 very strong games themselves.
This
And now know
also
what Flash
sets
Wolves
us
bring to
up
the
for
table.
that possible tiebreaker.
Yep.
If CLG